Maybe you're here. I was going to talk a little bit about something that has struck me since I got back into guns. I'm an old military guy and I grew up in Virginia around guns a lot, so it's not like I was a stranger to them, but I really hadn't owned a gun for 20, 30 years until just a short while ago. A friend of mine got me into it, Sharon the Gun Whisperer, and I got the bug pretty badly. So I joined a local forum where people buy and sell and trade firearms and ammunition, and really got into that. In fact, a large number of the weapons that I have, a large number of the handguns in particular, I've either purchased or traded on that forum. Love doing it. But one of the things that struck me about this forum was the incredible level of trust. It's as if there's someone on that forum gets in touch with you and says, hey, let's meet at some spot, you know they're going to show up, you know they'll probably be on time, and the trade will go exactly as the two of you have discussed. One that in particular that struck me was a trade I was doing for a Mosin that I had for a CZ82. This fellow wanted to trade a CZ82. He wanted me to give him a little bit of cash, to which I agreed. We were PM and, doing the private messages across the forum back and forth. And we agreed to meet at a particular spot. It was going to be actually dark, relatively late at night in a parking lot that was halfway between our two spots. Well, shortly after we made that agreement, he got back in touch with me and said he wouldn't be able to make it, but that his wife would meet me. Now think about this. This fellow was sending his young, quite pretty wife alone to a parking lot neither one of us had really been to very often, in the middle of night, to make a trade on guns and cash. Astonishing. Well, anyway, of course I went, and she showed up on time, cute as a button, she in the late 20s, and she had a Massachusetts accent, and we're in Virginia. So I asked her a little bit about it, and her remark was striking. She said, I love this state. And I asked her why, and she said, we have such freedoms here. And this obviously was in comparison to New England. Well, I asked her a little bit about the fact that she showed up alone, and she said she's never had any fear. She and her husband had done trades back and forth, and she said she's never had any fear or concern about meeting anyone who ever talked to her on a gun forum. That really struck me. Obviously I had no evil intent, but it struck me that a man would feel so confident that he would send his young wife to such a meeting, sight unseen, to have such a transaction. It made me feel extremely good, and it also made me feel that there really is something still out there, which is, among certain groups, and I think it's particularly true among gun people, a man's word is his bond. And there is still such thing as honor. Me, I think gun people are better people. Let me know what you think.